Danny, thanks. Now, turning to Decision 2012, Detroit's annual Labor Day event. It always draws a crowd, but today, a little bit different. Vice President Joe Biden joining the festivities. Less than a couple of weeks since his last visit to the state, the VP was back to talk up organized labor. 24-Hour News 8's Rick Albin has the details.
No surprise that on Labor Day, a visit to Detroit by the Vice President would focus very much on organized labor. The Vice President also answered a question about recent criticism, where Republicans have been asking, are you better off than you were when President Obama was elected?
Steel workers, iron workers, electricians, machinists, mechanics, you are the most productive workers in the world.
To a friendly crowd of what appeared to be mostly union members, Vice President Biden clearly knew his audience and made sure they knew he was with them. Tried to make it equally clear that he doesn't think the GOP ticket of Romney and Ryan is. As an example, he used a red meat issue to fire those up at Washington and Michigan in downtown Detroit.
They don't believe in your very right to bargain. Listen to what Romney had to say, and I quote, my own view, this is him speaking, he said, my own view is that the right to work is the way to go. He's going on to say, I'd like to see it at a national level as well.
And while it wasn't the first time he used it, Vice President Biden appeared to make a special point of answering the Republican question asked in the last several days. Are you, and by extrapolation the country, better off since he and President Obama were elected? He answered with this.
Folks, let me make something clear and say it to the press. America is better off today than they left us when they left. And if it weren't so hot, I'd go into detail why I say that. But let me just sum it up this way, folks. You want to know whether we're better off? I got a little bumper sticker for you. Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive.
After today, both Vice President Biden and President Obama head to Charlotte for the Democratic National Convention. With just over 9 weeks to go, expect to see both the Democratic and Republican ticket back in Michigan often, as this is going to be an important state in Decision 2012. In Detroit, I'm Rick Albin, 24-Hour News 8.
And counterpoint tonight on the question of being better off, Republicans were quick to respond. Michigan GOP Chairman Bobby Shostak issued a statement that said in part, President Obama's policies have failed. Despite Obama's campaign, the claim that America is better off, more than 23 million Americans remain out of work or underemployed. The housing market remains soft and the economy is weak. Rick will be with us all next week for coverage of the Democratic National Convention. It starts with primetime coverage tomorrow night and, of course, complete analysis at 11 on 24-Hour News 8.